Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you've not had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at justsayingwjs for article and video updates. We got some coaches, man, and they are on the hot seat. They could get fired after this 2021 season if things do not go their way. Who do you have on the hot seat, Jack?
I mean, right now, I got to start off with Zach Taylor. He's caught a really tough break, this guy. In 2 seasons in Cincinnati, he had the worst team. They went 2-14, and then he got Joe Burrow last year with that first pick. And things have not worked out well for him since then. And I think with the acquisitions they made this offseason, it was very long-term. I don't see him as a long-term coach for them there. He's 6-25-1 in 2 seasons. Not what you want to see. If that was any other coach in any other kind of situation, if Burrow didn't play the whole season, he still had that record, I believe it would have been fired last year. But they added a lot of good pieces. But, this is a team that was ranked second to last in almost every major category, in offense. And I don't think that they're looking to him long term. I think he's out of there next year, Zach Taylor.
I mean, with a guy like Joe Burrow, you can really put in any head coach, he's going to succeed. I'm looking at the NFC North, and I'm looking towards the Chicago Bears and Matt Nagy. Look, he's done pretty well through the 3 seasons, 28-20. He's made 2 playoff appearances in that time. The problem is, when he had the top defense, they were out in the first round. Last year was kind of a pity entrance into the playoffs, and they were out in the first round. They got absolutely decimated by the Saints, and it was embarrassing. He had a great offseason. Loved Justin Fields and Tevin Jenkins, the first 2 picks for them in this year's draft. That was absolutely brilliant. I love that move. 100%. I'm give him full credit for that. My problem with him right now is that he's banking on a rookie and Andy Dalton to basically save his skin right now. And that's a lot to put all of your eggs in that basket. That is not the basket I would put my eggs in at all. This team needs to make it to the playoffs. This team needs to show that they're ready, and they need to win more than one. They need to win a game in the playoffs. They have to be able to do this, or else Nagy's out. And I think the problem is, when I'm looking at this team and I'm looking at their schedule, there really isn't a good time to bring in Fields. You don't want to mess up Fields' development. You don't want to put him in against a game that he won't be ready for. You don't want to just plug and play him in like that. That's not how it's going to handle him. He was around during that Chiefs era with Mahomes. I say you got to take a similar path like that. Let him sit for the year, really absorb everything with the NFL, and then let him take over the reins. But in doing so, that's saying, Andy Dalton, you're my full-time starter. And if they don't do well with Andy Dalton, I just don't see how he's around, and I see his seat getting a little bit hotter after all of this, and I don't know if he's going to be around for the long run, because I think similar to Burrow, similar to Kyler Murray, similar to Tom Brady, take any coach, they'll find a way to win. They're that athletic. They love the game that much.
Yeah, I mean, Nagy's he's the guy every year that is just kind of, he's getting that hotter and hotter seat, but he keeps making the playoffs, like you said. He's definitely going to be somebody that we're going to have to be monitoring close as the Bears season goes on. They have so many good pieces. They just got Fields, as you mentioned. He's a very interesting coach to watch this season. For me, my last coach is kind of a hot take, but I have good reason behind it. John Gruden in Las Vegas. I mean, this guy got handed a 10-year contract, and he's won a Super Bowl before. You got to respect what he's done in his past. But I look at this team, and I don't think that it's Gruden's fault, but somebody has to get blamed. I mean, this team has not drafted well. They haven't attracted free agents like you wanted. They've drafted people, for liking them, and they've always done that. But if there's a team that is going to fire somebody 4 years, 5 years into a 10-year contract, outside of him having this 10-year deal, if he had a 6-year deal and he was in year 4, I think he would have been gone by now. This team has just not gotten better. They beat Kansas City out of familiarity last year, and they beat New Orleans. But outside of that, their season was very inconsistent, and they have a lot of great pieces. I really do believe if this team had the right coach and the right front office ahead of them, they would be a successful team. But this division is only getting better. Denver's getting better. LA is already getting better. And Kansas City is one of the best teams in the division. I don't think John Gruden and what he's shown us in this last 3 years is going to really give me enough reason. If he doesn't have a good season this year, I think that he's gone at the end of next year, just out of contract reasons. But he is on the hot seat this year, definitely for me. He's going to have to be closely monitored if they are losing the way they have been. He put together an 8-8 record last year, but that was the best that they've done, since he's been there. And it's not something, they've gotten better in record every year, but minimally, I'm worried about Gruden in this Raiders team next year.
They got rid of a lot of offensive linemen also. They don't really have a lot of weapons outside of Darren Waller and Henry Ruggs right now. It's not the position you want to be in. Also, .396 win percentage since taking over the Raiders. That is not good. Look, my guy. I'm upset with him. Cliff Kingsbury, man. I am upset with Cliff. I love this Cardinals roster. He's amassed a 13-18-1 record. He got to hand pick his quarterback, the guy that he's wanted for so long, and he just hasn't made the playoffs, man. Yeah. And it's getting really frustrating to me. And I looked over some stats with him. They are 3-9 in their own division the last 2 seasons under Cliff. That is just absolutely unacceptable. They have never beat the Rams. Never beaten the Rams. If you cannot win in your own division, you will not win outside of your division. I'm a believer of that. So Cliff, man, you got to win, because honestly, I said it earlier, Kyler, you can win with any head coach. You let him be Kyler, let him do his thing, give him a better run game outside of James Conner, let him air the ball out to DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, all these guys. If he doesn't make it to the playoffs, if they don't beat the Rams, I just don't see why he's there for the long run. I don't see why they'd stick with him for the long run. And then I think what it shows is that, hey, air raid offense doesn't work in the NFL, Cliff. And the worst part is you got to handpick your quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, and now you got guys like J.J. Watt coming, A.J. Green coming. They're all in here. These guys are 10-year veterans putting that legacy on the line for a winning season. And like you said, they never beat the Rams. The Rams are a team we've been talking about this offseason just as a team we expect to absolutely dominate in the NFC, especially in that division. So This year needs to be the year for Cliff.
It's not put together now. I think Cliff's heading out. Look, that is all the time that we have. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Enjoy.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for always supporting us. You can always go check us out on Instagram, Just Saying with no G, WJS. All your updates. You can check us out on YouTube, Just Saying Football, and go to justsayingfootball.com for all our content. Thank you for checking us out.
Thank you.